in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones. Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be.
Morning guys, I'm vlogging today. A little bit last minute decision there. I'm taking Kenco to the vets today for an x-ray on her neck and her head, I think. And I'm going to tell you as I go through my morning all about where our journey has come from and things like that. But first job, I've got to go and get the lorry. So I got Kenco 3 years ago. She actually came in to be broken in. But the girl wanted the job done pretty quickly. So I decided to buy her instead.
Caught up in an overflow. My hands, your bones. Wide-eyed, you look at me. Set on fire until the dream. Spin around, you can feel the breeze. Count 1, 2, 3. And go.
Slight problem. There's a turkey and a peacock in my way. Don't mind me, Mr. Peacock.
Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be. We gotta lose it. 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 We gotta lose it.
Once I had bought her, we proceeded to break her in and get ejected repeatedly. I got whiplash. It was pretty serious. So I did, in the end, manage to break her in, but it wasn't very easy, and I had to hack her out, basically, to start with and ride her on the concrete, which is something that I still do. I still get on the concrete because she can be incredibly cold-backed. And then we did a lot of long lining, but always still with underlying traumatizing experiences for Miriam with the flying lessons. Found an egg. Gross. So after that, we did a lot of general education. We did some jumping.
We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it.
A bit patchy. And we generally, I'll try and find some videos to splice into all of this. And I actually do have a video of her jumping. Not awful. We did a lot of pole work. We did a lot of spooking. We did a lot of shooting off with our tail down. So as you can see, she's always quite happy on the left rein, really balanced, really level. And then it's always the case that when I change the rein, something changes and down the tail goes and off we go. And I never actually caught on video her fully ejector seating me, which is a shame because I'm sure I'd get loads of views if I did. So we have always had this common theme, and I will now start telling you about the various medical procedures I have gone through to find out if there is anything wrong with Kenco. So first medical procedure we performed was trying Regulate. Loves her spirulina. That didn't work. Didn't make a blind bit of difference. Not hormones, turns out. So this is what I did with Kenco, and I still do every day. Riding her on the concrete. This is Finley, and he's now back and going, as you can see. But yeah, I always did her on the concrete because I found that she was less likely to ejector seat me. So we start on the concrete every time because it would always mean I was in a safe environment. She's only ever tried to do her cold back ejector seat feeling on the yard maybe once or twice, and even then it was pretty minimal. So yeah, I start them all on the hard ground so that they feel confident on their own legs, but not so confident that they send me somewhere. up there. So as you can see in this video, this was this was a while ago now, but on the yard, when I first get on, you can see she's so tight in her whole body. She's really reactive to my leg, and she's gone really high in her croup, the part just behind my saddle, and incredibly cold backed. And this is previously where we've had her really bronc before, at this feeling that she gives you. I just go really slowly, and I'm just gently asking her to move, and then she starts to relax so that I can carry on. So when I was going through the motions, this is like a 3-year-long journey, I was introduced to another way of training, using groundwork. So I was working them from the ground, working on different pressure and release, and teaching her a better way to be in her body. So I'd given her some time off because it was winter and I'd wanted her to have a rest because tension was still a thing and it wasn't getting better quickly. So when we got started again, what we did was, if she was being tricky, so you can see here, she tucks the tail down, she scoots a little. Every time I got that feeling, I would just turn a small circle until the hind legs slowed down, and then I would carry on. And this had a really positive impact to start with. It really helped her find a restful place in her body. So I did a lot of the groundwork stuff, and we started again, basically. We taught her a new way to move her legs when we first got on, which was positive, and it was really good, and it worked for a really long time, and I was able to ride her in a very simple, basic way, walk, trot, canter, in a really relaxed frame. But then as soon as I turned the pressure up again, that was when it wasn't so easy, and that was when the negative stuff started coming back out. So it's always been this cycle of good at the beginning, basic, ask for a bit more, finding it difficult. So for Kenco, it has always been the getting on that is really difficult. I often will just now get on from the ground, because if I get on from a mounting block, I don't have that moment of the leaning over like you do when you're getting on when you're doing a breaker. So this is the way that I teach normally the horses for me to get on them, but with Kenco I just have to get on from the floor. Good boy. So as you can see, that's really easy, and then I can get on from here and everyone's a winner. So this, like I'm doing on Norman right now, just wandering about, this was just not a thing. Please excuse my headphone in my ear, I'm waiting on a phone call. Yeah, it was always the tight neck and the unsure from behind, and it was the unknown feeling. So like, you imagine I had a friend, right, and you've probably seen those videos where there's somebody walking around going "Ah!" all the time to people, "Ah!" all the time. That is what Kenco is to me. She's that friend that permanently plays very unfunny practical jokes on you and makes you so scared all the time. So that's why walking on a long rein has always been such a real problem, because you'll be walking around absolutely fine and suddenly you'll be going 800 miles an hour across the school with her tail between her legs. That's not necessarily normal. So it's always as well, it tends to be worse on the right rein. So yeah, so she's that person that makes you jump all the time. So you can imagine why it then puts me on edge, and then she is on edge, and then the whole thing is like a spiral of terrified. So yes, that's another thing that needs investigating with Kenco. Why is the reaction so bad? So because of this reactiveness, I have had Kenco scoped for ulcers, and she had a very mild amount of slightly like an upset stomach maybe, and due to her being so sensitive, we discussed it and we decided that treating her with a course of Gastrogard would be a good thing. Again, didn't make a difference. Expensive, this business, as you can imagine. So the next part of the story I will tell you while I'm riding Obi. So the next part is I went to a show and I posted a video of Kenco being a bit strange. So as you can see, well, you can't hear it, but a stone hit the boards, and so she really shot off, and I had to do a give and retake, and I just had to carry on. And you can see her canter rhythm was totally weird, and this is what the vet picked up on. But you can see here, we carry on, and then normality is resumed. This was actually one of our best tests, despite that completely strange moment. In the ring, a stone hit the board and she shot off across the school like she does, and I got a message, an anonymous message from a vet that I don't know, through social media. They got my number and sent me a text message and said that my horse was lame, and I was like, okay, right. First I've heard of it, hadn't thought she was lame, no judge has ever said it, I've not ever, but anyway, I can't not look down that route, you know. They were a vet, they weren't just an anybody. Well, they claimed they were a vet actually. Imagine if they weren't. That cost me a lot of money. So my vet came and we flexioned, couldn't really find anything, did a lot of trotting her up on the hard and the soft. Obi, every time when I'm videoing, why does he do that? Keep me on my toes much. Teach me. Yeah, now we're jolly again. See if he settles down a bit. So we couldn't find very much, but Torsten, my vet, decided that we would refer to Newmarket. So we went to Newmarket, and again, couldn't find very much. I rode her, they saw how peculiar she was, and so we decided on a bone scan. This makes my arm hurt, something ironic. So we gave her a bone scan, and it had a little tiny bit of uptake in her SI joint. Her hocks were scanned, none of it came back particularly. They treated her SI. We had 2 weeks rest, no riding, which is the worst thing for her, bute and muscle relaxants, and then we rode again. No change. She had her hind suspensory scanned while she was there. They did all the way from her withers back, because that was where she felt that there could be a problem. The vet at Newmarket, still nothing. The search for a reason continues. Why do you always do that to me, Obi? Why do you always spook when I'm just trying to ride you? Now look at you, like ye old donkey. Look, Michelle's come back from holiday. Say hi, Michelle.
Hello.
She's been away for 2 weeks, and so she's come back to see me do some acrobatics on Obi. Her favourite.
It's very exciting, these acrobatics, I must say.
Look, if I don't steer him, look where he goes.
Straight to his mummy.
He loves
mummy
his
loves
mum.
his boy. He's looking beautiful though.
Yeah.
He's my beautiful boy.
But an ongoing problematic relationship, that kind of brings us up to today. Regulate, tried it. Ulcers, looked into that. Bone scan, nailed it. Here we are, going for some neck x-rays. It's always been the bend in her neck that is so difficult. It's always been the fact that she can't bend right. Like always, you'd ride on the left rein and it'd be fine, then you'd go to the right and it would not be fine. I'm going to put a load of video in at relevant moments, so it might seem a bit like this video, but yeah. So we're going to the vet, we're going to have her neck and her head and her jaw x-rayed, because I want some answers. And even if the answer is that there's nothing wrong with her, then fine, and I will just continue to train her and think of other ways to pull up my brave pants and go from there, because what else can I do? Yankini, are you ready to go? Come on then, let's go. She is Welsh. I don't mean that against Welsh people, but Welsh ponies are notoriously highly strung, so it's not impossible that the reasoning behind all of this is just her brain. The vet hasn't warned me of that, but I've got to know why the reaction is big and difficult, because otherwise it's impossible, because you're always asking what if it was pain, because you can't train pain. So here we are. I really brushed her nicely, as you can see, for our trip to the vets. Good girl. So we are en route. I'm not driving right now, I'm pulling out of the drive. Don't be sending me your driving and videoing hate. I'm late, I've not eaten breakfast, and I'm incredibly hungry because I've just ridden 3 horses. Great. Winning at life. Little horse is very settled though. What a good girl. So great having a video camera in the back of these lorries. It makes such a difference. These are by British Horsebox Hire. This is Opie's mum's lorry, and I'm very lucky that I get to use it. So off we go. I feel so sick. Literally. Like, horrendous. Awful. Like, not good, this feeling. Don't know where to park. I've just arrived at the vet's. I'm going to ask if I can video because I want to show you guys what we do. I feel terrible. Like, I stopped and bought some food that I don't want to eat. Now I'm here, I don't want to know. This is so hard. You produce horses for years and years and years, and you do all of this stuff with them, and then you need answers. You don't actually want answers, because what if it's really bad? I feel so sick. It's horrible. Vet's not here yet, so I have to wait for him to turn up. I might see you on the other side, I might be able to do some videoing. This is miserable bit, isn't it? Not fun. No answers. Nothing. Not a sausage. Every x-ray, I put some pictures in. Clean. Nothing. All the margins between her vertebrae and her neck were good. Nothing. So, the pony has nothing clinically wrong with it. Torsten would like to try some acupuncture next week. So we will see whether that is of any interest and any benefit. But in some ways, you know what? I was terrified that there was going to be some horrid trauma, problem, arthritic change. She's 8. Along those lines, I got no idea. And there isn't. So I have to be grateful in a lot of ways because, well, I now don't have to pay lots of money to have my pony treated, so that's something, but I don't have an answer as to why she is peculiar, and it potentially is just training, and that maybe I over time have built up something within her training that hasn't been positive. Maybe that is how this is. Maybe that's all that is going on here, that I have created this. And I have thought about this myself, and it's not a very easy conclusion to come to when you train horses for a living, that maybe you are the causal link for something to have become bad. But she has scared me repeatedly. So yeah, I keep riding her. We look into the acupuncture, but really it is going to be training, and I've got to find a way of helping her not make such a mountain out of a molehill every time something isn't quite to her liking. And in some ways I'm glad that now I have information that I can go through this and work through it and process it. So yeah, very interesting. We don't have answers, but we do, so that's a positive. I've literally now checked every single inch of this pony, so game on. So I've just got back to the yard. A friend rang on the way back, and we've had a theory that possibly she had a twin in the womb, and the twin has been absorbed into her brain on the right side, and so every time when I change the rein from left to right, the evil twin, it's evil, comes out and is a total shitbag and is petrified of every little thing in life. It's a funny one. I tell you what, it's obviously when you're at the vets and they're looking at the x-rays and they're like, yes, this, and I'm like, what does it mean? I don't know how to read x-rays. Yes, I have lots of horses and I've had lots of horses and I train people, but no, I can't read x-rays, and it would be something I'd like to learn. I have to explain, they get it explained. So I said to him, oh, what are we looking at here? I'll put the picture in right now. And then I said, oh, so what are we looking at? And he said, so this is the horse's skull. And he said, and this round section in the middle, I'll put the picture in again with an arrow. That's their brain. And I said, well, it's no wonder we have so many problems. So the fact that possibly this is a training issue is very possible, because if we can train them to do all that sort of amazing stuff with a brain of that size, surely we can train them to do the wrong thing with a brain of that size more easily. So, sorry coaches that coach me. We don't have any answers, because me and both of my coaches that have helped me with her, Claire and Ian, we have all repeatedly pulled our hair out about this subject, as it is really frustrating, because she's a very capable pony. So that is that. I am going to unload her and sort her out. I need to take the lorry back, put some fuel in it, and then I am going to Berry Farm with a load of clients for their clear round. So that'll be good fun. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'm not going to worry about taking you guys with me, because the cause of this vlog was about Kenco. Do you want to go out in the field, pony with nothing wrong with you? Little monster. Lee, did you have a nice time at the groomers? Oh, you're so silky soft. Have you ever seen a dog wag its whole body like this? You is so cute. Billy! Ah! Ow. So here we have some more driving chat. So I have picked the dogs up, as you can see. I don't know if you can see actually. And I'm taking the lorry back, and then I've got to head over to Berry Farm. I turned the horses out so they can have some time in the field, and I made sure that Opie had enough hay and water. And yeah, I'm gonna go and pick up my car and then take the dogs home and then go to Berry Farm. And that will be the end of my day. I really hope you found this video educational today. Like, I really have been through the mill with this pony, as you can tell. I have really covered every base and tried to fill every gap, And now I'm at a point where no, I don't have a clinical answer for peculiar behaviour, but I do have an answer that it's not pain. So I can now train her. I can push through it, work with my coaches to format a training plan that is going to help her long term be happier, so that I can go and compete and do all the things that I want to do, knowing now that there is nothing hurting her, nothing physically stopping her. I'm going to keep up with having regular physio and osteopathy. I'm going to keep up with having acupuncture, because I think that that could be something very interesting. I have had acupuncture on my head for migraines, and it's changed my life. So why can't we do that then for a horse? That seems reasonable. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to have notifications for when I next post a video, there's a little bell icon on YouTube, you can click that. Please follow my page on Facebook, it's Hackett Equine, for all my daily updates. And I am mirihackett on Instagram. I'd really appreciate it if people could screenshot when they've watched the video and post that on their social media and tag me in it. That would mean a lot to me. I really hope that I have helped some people with some ideas of where to start if they're having difficulty. I apologise that I didn't give you a concrete answer as to why this has happened, but I guess that is the nature of the situation. It's not an exact science, horses. There is so much changeable thing going on with it that we just have to go one thing at a time, tick it off the list and go from there. I am firmly sure that I have ticked everything off the list. If I have missed anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I would be so interested to hear your opinions on it. As I said before, I did share some difficult videos where things don't look like they're going so well, but I really hope that you can see that I'm just doing the best I can, and that sometimes fear does come into it. My brave pants have been stuck up my bum crack for the last 3 years, and one day maybe I hope to be able to take them off and burn the bloody things. But until then, brave pants on, training in gear, and we just go from there. I will see you next week in some way, shape or form, whether it be on a video or when you come for a lesson. I really do hope you liked the video today, guys, and I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye, guys.
I'm scared.